game after the Vermont game?
We really needed this game because after Vermont game, there was a lot of like people in the wrong mindsets, and this win like tells us we can stay in the game or stay like competing with people. So we can't get too high. I mean, get high on wins and too low on losses. So that was one of those type of games.
This was a game, kind of a possession by possession, kind of grinded out game. Do you guys now feel confident that you can win multiple styles of games? Like you can score 70 points and win, but you can also win a game where maybe you shoot 35% from the field.
Yeah, you just gotta stay together, stick together. We trust in ourselves and we trust in our teammates that we can fight through anything. So that's been a big part of our mindset.
You just said, but I guess after the Vermont game, you guys were in the wrong mindset. What was that mindset that you thought your guys were in?
We just took a tough loss, so we felt like losers, like big losers. They was like predicted second to win the league. We picked it first, and the way we handled that game wasn't too good. So that took a toll on us, but we still in this.
Obviously, with COVID, you guys have had it's kind of been a kind of the schedule's been kind of herky jerky. Lost some games have had to be rescheduled. How difficult has it been for this group to kind of get into a rhythm or a flow that you would want to play?
Yeah, we just gotta, cause we don't know what can happen the next few days. So we just gotta like practice and play like every day is the actual game. So we come and practice, that's our game. Just in case a game might get canceled or rescheduled, so that we can still have that our mindsets in the right place.
The way you guys played in, what do you think the difference was for you guys offensively between the first half and the second half? First half, I think you only shot something like 30%. Maybe second half it was closer to 50. Was it just a case that you guys made shots in the second half?
When you play hard, things starting to fall. So I guess some shots was like, they went in, but other than that, this is what we practice every day. So these shots we take.
So I guess as of right now, you guys got two more games this week, both on the road. Are you looking at those games as kind of a challenge?
Every game's a challenge for us.
Okay.
So we go attacking one game after another.
What do you think the identity of this group is?
Yeah, that's tough. Cause we're still trying to figure out our identity. So we just making our mark as the games go on. I can't tell you honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Thank you so much.
All right. For you, obviously game line 17 points, 15 in the second half. Were you just looking to be aggressive in the second half, or did anything change for you?
Not really. A couple shots in the first half went in and out, but we just played fast today. I feel like the other games like Vermont, we just came out flat, and like today we play fast, and when we play fast, it's hard to beat us. So I just try to be aggressive and just play my game.
Why do you think, like the Vermont game, you came out flat, and obviously this game you came out fast? Why do you think that is? Is it difficult to kind of get in the kind of
I'm,
rhythm where
I
you
don't.
play fast all the time?
With the Vermont was a big game, so it's kind of crazy how we came out flat. Like, so I could really can't tell you, but after Vermont, everybody was down. Like we knew that like we cannot. That was embarrassing, especially like we picked first in the conference, and like Vermont's a very good team, so we know next time like we can't come out flat. Throughout the whole conference, like every team's good. You can't sleep with nobody. So I feel like we came out today just locked in, and we moved the ball and we played together.
You're a group that's known primarily because of the points you put up, your offense. Do you think this kind of game proves that you can be a really good defensive team?
Yes, sir. I feel like when we locked in and like both ends, it's hard to beat us. And like today, like throughout the season, we showed spurts of it, and sometimes we didn't. So like every time we don't lock in on defense, we lose or like it's a blowout that you see in Vermont. But today we really take pride in our defense, and it leads to offense in the transition.
Did you guys get a sense at any point that they were in the second half that they were getting frustrated because it seemed like they had shots that just weren't fall? Obviously, they weren't falling. They were committing turnovers. Did you get a sense that maybe you broke those guys a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. But that team's a good offensive team. But we, like we said, we just followed the game plan, and we just took them out of the flow.
I asked Tykei this. I'll ask you: was this the kind of game that you guys needed coming off of Vermont because that you had to play kind of a tough grinded out game instead of maybe an up tempo game?
Yes, for sure. We need this game big time for not just for our team, cause like I said, after Vermont, like we was down, like our mindset wasn't like we was mad, cause that was embarrassing. So like today was a very important game for us, and going forward is very important.
Do you think keep that mindset going forward, that kind of that being mad and to try to prove someone wrong?
Yes, we definitely do. Like, I feel like we don't have that much. I feel like the conference don't really think we're that good. I feel like so we got every game we got to come out and play like this.
So you feel like you guys have a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Thank you.
I thought we played really hard. I thought our effort defensively probably negatively impact our shooting a little to a degree because that's harder than we have tried defensively in a while, which we needed to get back to following the Vermont game. So great result. Lucky anytime you can just get a win, you feel good and you're back on track. You know, got us to 10-6, 2-1, so it becomes big in terms of momentum for us.
From a coach's point of view, was this the kind of game you wanted to see because of the way you played defensively?
Yeah, and to be honest, so coming into the game, right, there are 357 Division I basketball teams. We were 349th in 2-point field goal percentage. And it's not because people are just throwing the ball in the post and they're making post moves. It's because we literally don't keep the ball in front when we're just matched up one-on-one. We just are saving energy for offense, not trying hard enough defensively. That's been an issue for us throughout the year. So I would talk to the guys at shoot-around today. If you take the bottom 20 teams in the country of 2-point field goal percentage, because some stats – you can not be good at something and you can hide it, right? Like you may not be a great rebounding team, but you score, you make a lot of threes, or you don't foul a lot, which we don't foul a lot. But, you know, there's different stats that you can still win it above. So I just wanted to see what the other teams that were bad 2-point field goal percentage defense, what their years look like. So if you take the bottom 20 teams in the country coming into today, those teams were 86 and 194. So all the teams that are playing defense like us are losing. So it does speak to the ability of our guys to score, but it also says, like my point to them today was, you know, we're 9-6 and we have 16 games left. If we would just tighten up defensively, maybe we have a chance in our last 15 instead of being 9-6 the rest of the way. Maybe we could be 13-2 or whatever the record could be if you're going to get stops. But our defense has been poor. I thought guys tried much harder. I thought the lineup change helped us. I thought the guys that started really flew around and got stops at the beginning of the game, which was helpful also.
I was going to ask you about the lineup change. Was it just specifically to get maybe more defensive-minded guys in the lineup?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, we're trying to put the guys out there that we feel like can get us off to the best start. And if you really look over the course of the year, there's a million stats that you can look at, but one of the big ones is plus minus. How are you impacting our team when you're in? Are we really playing well when you're on the court, or are we not playing well when you're on the court? And we've had a few guys that have really helped us. And, some of those guys, Tyler Stevenson Moore's plus minus rating is the best on the team. So he needs to play. And, he was hurt, which is why he didn't play those couple games very much because he had sprained his ankle. But, he's a big key to what we're doing. He plays hard. He defends. He rebounds. And so, and there's other guys in that mode. Tykei Greene is a guy that when he's not in, our team does not perform as well. So, we're not set on any starting lineup for the rest of the year. It's kind of going. It's a fluid situation, but I want guys in that especially coming off the just. I don't even have an adjective to describe the defense at Vermont, how bad it was. We gave up 98 points. So I wanted guys in that were totally consumed with how can we get stops and how can we make it a little harder on the other team. And we were lucky. I mean, UMBC is a very, very good offensive team, and we caught the benefit of them playing on Saturday and having the one-day turnaround. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to go to Binghamton, and Binghamton's going to catch us. I mean, the schedule with these makeup games is really difficult. I like our depth. But our depth is going to be needed, to lean on here down the stretch.
I had asked a couple guys, I asked Tykei and Jahlil about that, about the schedule and the makeups. Is it hard for you as a coach and for them as a group to kind of get into a rhythm and get used to how each other plays, because you don't have practice time and you don't have games?
It was immensely hard for us through the preseason. When we got through the non-league, we had a 2-year total where we had 11 missed games for injury and illness. 3 and 4 years ago. 2-year total of 11. We got through the non-league, and our number was 43. It was 43. So in 1 year, I mean, it's astronomically higher than it's ever been. And so when I'm not available today, and then you're not available next game, how can you build rhythm and chemistry? And I think that's been a big problem for us. Now, hopefully, and what's really amazing is it's not been COVID-related stuff. Only 2 of the 43 games were COVID. 41 were illness that was not COVID or injuries. So, for us moving forward, hopefully we can just keep everybody available. But there, like I said, the guys after the game, the hard part is it's not going to be your night every night. And we have enough guys that, we're going to need contributions from various places on various nights if we're going to have any chance to finish strong, because we were really unlucky in terms of the makeup games. I mean, we've had 3 games canceled all by opponents. So usually when you get canceled, it's because it's something with your team. It's not your fault, but it feels different than like we're ready to play, we're available, we're ready to go, and we're not playing. And and I think we won't be able to practice much the rest of the year. I mean, I went through and looked. We have 4 traditional game preps the entire rest of the year. Out of our last 16 games, only 4. So 12 of them are going to be like tomorrow. We're going to come in, you're going to watch film, you're going to stretch, you're going to walk through, you're going to do some light shooting, and you're going to go play Binghamton with 0 guarding any of what they do live or trying to emphasize what we can do against them. So it's going to be about, players making plays. And the good news is we're veteran. The bad news is our whole league is veteran. I mean, we played Vermont. They had 9 seniors. They had 9. That's more than us. And we play New Hampshire. Those guys have been at New Hampshire forever. So, when you get through the schedule and you really look at it, UMBC is old. Everybody's old. Everybody's old.
Obviously, last game, 3-point shooting defense was an issue. How much did you emphasize that coming into today?
Well, it was our number one key because they have elite shooters. I think we did a good job. That said, again, we definitely were helped by them being short turnaround. I don't know that they had great legs because we did give them some open ones that they just didn't knock in. But I'm thrilled that we were able to not just give up a pile of threes. And a lot of them were contested and they were good defense. But, at Vermont, we had some non-defense that they made. Then we had some good defense that they made. They just made them all, and it didn't really matter. They were 19 of 30, which I don't know if it's a league record. It's probably not, but it's certainly in the top 10. They just shot at such a high level, and a lot of it was bad defense by us. And give them credit because you still got to make the shots. I mean, you could go stand at top of the key by yourself right now, 19 to 30. You'd feel pretty good about it, unguarded.
I asked Tykei this, and he said he wasn't sure. I'll ask you, what do you think the identity of this group is now, and what do you want it to be?
Well, the identity needs to be toughness, and that has not been our identity. Our identity has been outscore you, and I love the fact that we have firepower of offense, and that's what gives you a chance to win at a high level. But we can't be 349th in the country in 2-point field goal defense and win a championship. That's not going to happen. Now, hopefully, moving forward, we can accept that challenge, and our identity can be, even if we could just play average defense, because our offense can win us games, but you can't be poor defensively and win at a high level. That's why every team around us we're the only one with a winning record. Everybody else's record's awful, as evidenced by the 86 and 197, I think is what it was exactly. So for us, we've got to be better on the defensive end, and we haven't been a good offensive rebounding team. If you really look at the stats we've won with, they're skill stats, not toughness stats. We've not been a good offensive rebounding team. Tykei's had a whale of a year with that. Nobody else's offensive rebound stats are great. Omar's are good, and Omar really plays hard. So, you feel like Omar, Tyler, and then Tykei's been awesome offensive rebounding. So we have 3 guys that were valuable on the offensive glass. That's a toughness stat. And then defense is pretty much all toughness. And we've been a bad defensive team right down the line. So we don't have anybody that's been like, okay, you're our stopper. This other team's got player X. I mean, if you went through and looked at the amount of times where we have played a team, their leading scorer always seems to get their stats. Like, we don't go in like this guy's averaging 20 and we just did a great job and we held him to 8. You're averaging 20, you're getting 20 or 23 or 24. That's just how we've defended. So I'm thrilled to death with how we played. And I know we benefited from their prep. That's a very obvious thing that helped us. They had that big pause, so they had to, shut down. I'm not sure they're in game shape like Coach Ferry would typically like them to be. But he's a hell of a coach. He's a veteran guy. They've won a lot. They're going to be a good team down the stretch once they can kind of get themselves in shape.
When you look at the difference for you guys offensively between the first half and the second half, was it just a case that you guys were able to convert shots in the second half?
We were a little better around the rim. At halftime, we were 11 of 24, and I didn't total this up, but we were 11 of 24 from 2 in the first half, which we didn't feel was good enough. We were 11 of 21 in the second half, so we were over 50%. They're not a shot blocking team. For us to be 11 of 24, and they had one block shot, and it was on the ball. It wasn't a help side block. It was a guy driving it who got blocked at the rim one-on-one. So, we need to finish up over 50% of those plays. And we still missed. Elijah had the steal, run out, uncontested. Guy made a hustle play. We couldn't finish it. Anthony had the ball under the rim, unguarded on a drop-off in transition, shot a reverse, didn't finish it. Those are not those are stops, and I would feel the same way on our team. And they did. They missed some layups in the charge circle. When the teams miss those, that's not good defense. That's just you got lucky that a guy blew an easy one. So I think offensively we left some points on the table, and then we just didn't make any threes, which is what we do. Luckily, Jahlil Jenkins got it cooking a little bit in the second half. And Tykei was consistent throughout, but we needed another guy to put points on the board, and Jahlil kind of in the second half was clearly that guy. He did a great job.